Hey, how's it going, people? Panda here, and I'm back with something that I used to do many time ago, which is after WWE pay-per-view or Raw, I would compile my thoughts and the results and everything of said event into a video. And for anybody who might be wondering why I stopped, even though it actually turned out to be, for the size of my channel, fairly successful, I wanted to try and do something better and was in shorter time, but that ended up not happening. So I guess I will try and resurrect this. And tonight was Night of Champions. I know I picked kind of a random point in time in pay-per-view to start back in with it, but oh well, I got in the mood, I got the edge. And it started off with the Tag Team Championship match. It was the Usos versus the Dust Brothers. They don't really have an actual tag team. They just get called Gold and Stardust, which I kind of don't like because it's almost like they're just shortening Goldust down to Gold. But overall, really great match. Probably match of the night, in my opinion, actually. Which kind of isn't saying a lot, since actually half the card was pretty doo-doo, in my opinion. This was strictly off of that statement, you would think this is like a 5 out of 10 pay-per-view, but this is more like, I'd give it probably a 7, actually. Let's see how. The Nashville crowd was really good into it, and in a way that WWE likes crowds to be in the thing. They weren't, Chicago or New York or Philadelphia crowd where they're super smart and they know the stuff and they're internet fans just everywhere. So they were really into it. They reacted to the good and the bad as they would, and with these two tag teams where they're both kind of playing with that line of heel face, it creates for some really cool moments, because the Usos would do something, they would react that way. The Dust Brothers would do something, they would react whichever way that was. It was just a really awesome, everything coming together that creates a good match. But in the end, the Dust Brothers ended up winning. Stardust caught one of the Usos off of attempting the splash and caught him in a roll-up for the Vantu Shri. Also, the commentary team in this match was really good. That dropped off pretty freaking hard at the same moment that the rest of the pay-per-view kind of dropped until the end. So did the commentary. But the way they were reacting after winning the titles was really cool. Goldust was kind of yay, but Cody kept in Stardust's character, and he was staring at the titles. He was eccentric and everything. And what I was going to say about the commentary team as well is they kept adding these were some former champions, and stuff, trying to rebuild the reputation of the mid-card titles, which we know is going to be very tough. Which tag team has stayed? It's dropped from where it's been, but it's not U.S. title. But yeah, new tag team champions, really cool. I imagine my knuckles popping just came up in the mic since they were like 6 inches away, so that might sound gross. But next we had the U.S. title match, Sheamus versus Cesaro, and I named 2 European wrestlers. It was a European match, which means they just hit each other. Actually, there were some pretty technical things, but they just hit each other. It was a classic European fight that everybody just loves to watch, especially with Sheamus. Cesaro added some new move I hadn't seen before, so he could have added it. I've not seen it before tonight, which it didn't look like a completely set up move. what he did was he picked up Sheamus on the back of his shoulders, kind of like in a torture rack, but instead like slammed him forward, and it was just like this quick, in the motion, just out of nowhere did it, and it was just awesome. I need that in his repertoire. He needs to be like Sheamus and have the 16 finishers. So he will have the uppercut, kinda, the swing, not so much anymore, the neutralizer, and now this like torture rack slam, which was awesome. At the end of the match, Sheamus was backed off into one of the corners, and like he had pushed Cesaro off something and just started yelling at him, like, "Come on, come on!" So Cesaro comes back in and starts swinging at him, pushes him off again, and then bro kick, and Sheamus wins. I know a lot of people don't really care for Sheamus because he's just been face for so long, but I'm enjoying him. Not anything to really do with the red hair stuff and the beard. His beard was kind of out of control today, might be funky in the camera. But I mean, that's pretty much it. They still continue to try and rebuild the title there. I don't know. I have like a wish list or something. Not list, but I think they could drop the U.S. title and do something better, or at least until they put the U.S. title on Rusev. Maybe that'll be later. Next up was the IC title, Ziggler versus The Miz. I don't even want to talk about this match really, because it's just, you know, the normal like internet conspiracy theories, and I'm not like playing into it, but I mean, this is like a key example of why they would believe it. During the match, because they're in Nashville and, you know, country music and all that, Florida Georgia line, which I'd walked away to get like food or something, and I came back and there were just country singers talking, so I didn't know for like 5 minutes who they actually were until one of them finally said. But they were sitting at ringside on commentary, so yeah, the entire time was just focused on them and blah blah blah. They were just wanking to Florida Georgia line the whole time. Obviously, with a Ziggler match, even with Miz match, I like watching Miz perform. I got why people were getting tired of him before, because it was back and forth weekly, good guy, bad guy, which was stupid. But it was an overall good match. They had the stunt doubles involved. The Florida Georgia line guys did like a full like reach back push to his dad, which was goofy as crap. Not him, but me. But at the end, Mizdow came back out after being chased by our Truth Ziggler. I don't remember what his name's supposed to be. I like having R-Truth involved like that. I like R-Truth because of the, especially with the whole ex-TNA thing, mostly. But Mizdow came back out, distracted Ziggler. Miz rolled him up, pulled the tights. We actually had a bad guy grab the tights. After that, they had a quick little video thing of updating on Roman Reigns. Says, if you haven't heard, somehow he got a hernia over the weekend and could not compete, and they said that he would be out for a number of months. Royal Rumble return, victory, WrestleMania. After that, they still slightly acted that the match would still won't go on between Rollins and Reigns. Rollins came out and said, out of respect for my brother and all that, I'll give him 10 seconds. 10 seconds comes by. He issues an open challenge. All this seemed just too much. You could kind of see where they were going with it. I do kind of feel like they may have had to push. Spoiler alert: Dean Ambrose's return up at least tonight because of the Reigns injury. But I just said it. Dean Ambrose returns. It wasn't in like he accepted the challenge or anything. He rolled up in a cab and got out and ran out, and they fought around the Bridgestone Arena and all that. It's kind of cool having like the Authority try and detain Ambrose all the time. Not because it like helps with the crazy thing. He does so well with the crazy thing on his own, but it's just getting to see like Fit Finlay and I always forget his name. Joey Mercury and somebody else. I can't remember his name. I always forget his name. Like seeing those guys out there trying to control things. It's just a fun thing for people who know who they are. Let's see. At the end, they put the like zip tie handcuffs. How often do you put those two words together? Leave me alone. Put the like zip tie handcuff kind of things on him and drag him or carry him out like they have before. Actually that was a decent moment in the middle of it. I was thinking of this analogy earlier for how kind of Night of Champions was. It was like a sandwich. The buns were like, you know, perfectly steamed and butter and roasted like pretzel buns or something, just great. Pretzel buns on burger is kind of, but this is like great breading, and then in the middle was just like a turd. But I guess within that turd was like a slice of bacon, which was the Rollins Ambrose segment. Big surprise there. After that was Henry and Rusev. They're continuing the Russian versus U.S. kind of thing. It's dragging on me now. I usually love like political storylines and everything, especially with like U.S. versus non-U.S. stuff. But because it's just so easy to do, like no matter how you try to on which side you have the good guy or the bad guy. The bad guy. But this is just draining on me. I think they should have put the U.S. title on a long time ago, to where they have like there's an objective for the other guy other than just representing America, which, you know, with Jack Swagger is like, it was believable because that was already his character, and they could have done the flag on the pole match where Jack could have won, giving us a reason to continue caring about Rusev, because he's been beaten. I don't understand the mirror effect anymore. Because he's been beaten, but he's not been pinned or submitted. But no, they're just going to continue throwing out somebody, put him in red, white, and blue until Reigns or someone has to step up and beat him. Someone had seen on Twitter, which of course is a real possibility. Probably not, actually. I have 3. He usually just has like 2 match things, though. They might do something with Cena and him. I don't know. They just need to hurry up and either get him beat or I don't even know if I want to see him put the U.S. title match or title on him anymore. I like Rusev, but they're doing crap. Off of that tangent, we had Y2J and Randy Orton. I wrote about Y2J. It's Chris Jericho. This was something that happened a couple weeks ago. The countdown, the actual countdown is back on Jericho's entrance, which I love. It was, I just couldn't get in the match. I mean, I'm sure I've seen it many times before. It was a Chris Jericho Randy Orton match. They did Chris Jericho and Randy Orton things, but I just couldn't get into it. And then like I said before, the commentators after the U.S. title match, once the Florida Georgia Line stuff came in, it was just down, super down. I don't remember what match or segment it was, but it was just like straight Mountain Dew ads. Yeah, I had one earlier where I think they were like later on, I think in the Divas match, where it was like playful something about the Mountain Dew stuff. Like they were doing it, and it was so obvious that they were kind of inadvertently doing it. It was funny, but like there was one where it was like actual plugging and stuff, and it was silly. So I didn't really care about that match that much. Next up, we have the Divas title match. We had Paige versus Nikki Bella versus AJ. When I was reminded that Nikki was in this, I got really, really sad. And the match started going. Nikki was doing awesome. And it wasn't that she was doing stuff, then AJ or Paige had to assist and help carry her. She was doing really, really good stuff on her own, and it was just overall really, really good. Later on, she got kind of traditional Nikki Bella needy wah stuff, which kind of ruined it, but the match didn't go on that much longer after it. But in the end, AJ won via the Black Widow submission thing. And like I said, it was a really, really good match. I would actually probably put it at numbered main event. I still feel like I would put the Divas match at the number 2 match of the night. And then, of course, the main event, this actually ended like 13 minutes early. They're getting really bad with the filling 3-hour pay-per-view blocks now. But the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. As you might expect, it was a really, really good match. They made this one really, really back and forth because they destroyed Cena before, so they wanted to make him not destroyed again. They wanted to make him look like John Cena. But at the end, it actually looked like Cena might win. I actually believed it. Like, with Reigns getting hurt, that changed kind of how I saw a lot of stuff, or mainly in the main event, but how I saw like a lot of stuff possibly turning out. So I could have seen Cena winning. It still felt weird and wrong that it would have been at this pay-per-view, but I could see it happening because of that. But he hit him with 4 AAs over the course of the match, but like 2 really, really close together in. Had him in the STF. I don't know how close he actually was to tapping, but they're saying he was close to tapping. Before Rollins slides in, hits Cena with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Just had to check to see if there was anything in between. But Rollins goes, he hit the curb stomp, that's what I was thinking of. He hit the curb stomp on Lesnar in the middle of the ring. Goes out, attempts to cash in the Money in the Bank. As he gets back in the ring, Cena tackles him and starts rolling around and all that noise until he comes out. Because the bell didn't ring, he didn't cash in. Cena turns around, F5, Lesnar stands broad and tall on his skinny legs. And Cena wins the match via DQ, but Brock is still champion. We almost had to cash in, Reigns is out, so anything is viable now. And that was Night of Champions. I feel like I'm missing stuff, like a lot of personal thoughts, and I would have done this or that or something that I think I used to do, but I don't know. Like I said, this was a turd sandwich on some great bread with a piece of bacon. If you want to call me out on how stupid that analogy is, go ahead. If you wouldn't mind, please do the generic YouTube stuff. Wow. Like, comment, subscribe. Boot6. I've not done that in a while either. I keep doing this. Oh my god, I keep doing like something with this particular hand and it's way off to the side. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night, actually, because I'll probably do one of these for Raw, for them to fill in poopy holes and stuff that they didn't do in the pay-per-view.